What's up everybody, Caveman only here, and welcome to episode 6 of my underground adventures. I've accomplished quite a bit since my last update. I've done lots of thieving, cooking, magic, and other things. And plus a few other exciting things thrown in there as well, of course. Currently, I'm focused on preparing to kill the KALPHITE Queen. So that means obtaining all the gear, supplies, and stats necessary to take her down. And I've made pretty great progress in all of those areas, so let's get right into it. Before I get into the content though, I want to go over a few graphics that I've made. I realized in my last update I claimed that Phase 2 had begun, but I never explained exactly what that meant. So basically I've divided my overall progress into 3 phases. Phase 1 was just the startup phase, so that was doing all of the necessary above ground training, lots of long, boring grinds like mining and smithing, limited access to all of my skills, and ultimately a pretty boring time beyond the initial honeymoon phase of the account. Luckily that phase is over and was completed with my purchase of the Edgeville respawn for 5 mil. I'm currently working on Phase 2. That's where the real excitement is, because I can now focus my efforts towards bossing, which is the content you guys want to see the most, I'm pretty sure. So now that I've got access to all of these new areas and skills and methods, like I said earlier, it's time to utilize all of those to ultimately take down KQ and Jad. Finally, Phase 3. This will pretty much take place once I defeat Jad and also get 69 magic to unlock the catacombs and all of those Slayer mobs. These goals will be the pinnacle of my achievements, and it's going to take me a very long time to achieve any of these. The boss camping, gear hunting, it's going to be a tad more grindy, to be honest, but it'll ultimately be worth it, I think. So there you have it. My account's progress laid out in 3 rather straightforward phases, and you now know exactly what I'm aiming to accomplish. So now on to the content. So I started off with a bit of fletching using the wooden stalks and bronze limbs that I gathered while I was thieving in Keldegrim. Then I decided to try my hand at the Tsar creatures. I went quite a long time dry of any drops, but my very first item drop was the Obsidian Cape, which is basically the best item I could get for the time being, since I only had a ham cloak to work with before. Straight after that I got an Obby Maul, which is going to be my weapon of choice for the first phase of KQ. So my RNG was off to a pretty great start, and I decided to stream the content a bit, but then my RNG quickly petered out, and I went 7 to 8 hours dry with no drops. On stream, of course. So after that I decided it was time to do something else. So I did a bit of thieving in Dordish Khan, and while I was there I saw on my mini-map an icon for a cooking range, which I hadn't noticed before. I thought it was just decoration, so I grabbed some bread dough from the bank from a long time ago and ran down there, and sure enough it worked. So this opened up a whole new world for me, because I was under the impression that I didn't have access to a range, which meant cooking the raw rat meat from level 12 to 35, which would have sucked. So I stocked up on supplies and smashed out a lot of cooking levels. I ended up with a fair few wines and plain pizzas, which I'll be taking to KQ in the future. That combo eat will heal 18, 19 if I make meat pizzas, so I think it'll be pretty decent food to attempt KQ with. The discouraging thing about training cooking on this account is that it takes so long to get cooking supplies from the chest in the lumber cellar that when I burn food or make bad wines, it is very discouraging, because buying all of the ingredients in the chest one at a time is so tedious and it takes so long. But after a while I did end up with level 50 cooking, which is pretty great, and I can now make chocolate cakes, which is kind of irrelevant. But I can also make meat pizzas at level 45, so that's the important thing. So the more cooking levels that I get, the greater chance I'll have at successfully cooking meat pizzas, and that will be the best cooked food that I can make. It's not the best food I can get my hands on though, of course, because I can kill KALPHITE Queen for sharks and dark crabs and brews and things of that nature, and I'll be using that to not only get more KALPHITE Queen kills, but to also use the brews and restores I get from KQ at Jad. In this clip I achieved level 28 fishing, which is the level that I thought I needed to start fishing the slimy eels in the Leverage Swamp Cave. So I unfortunately don't have footage of this, but I ran down into the cave with my regular fishing rod and feathers, thinking that I could fish some cave eels, and I was an idiot, and I ended up dying to the gas actually, which is the funny part. But I'm also an idiot because it's riverbait fishing with fishing bait, not feathers. So unless I can figure out a way to get my hands on some bait underground, I actually can't start fishing until level 33 for the net fishing frog spawns in the Lumbered Swamp Caves. So after my moment of stupidity with fishing, I decided to go back to the Czar creatures, and straight away I got a drop of 27 throwing rings. Again, it was off stream, of course, so I decided to stream again, hoping that I could, get some PogChamp content on the stream for once. Again, I went dry for several hours, but I did manage to get level 70 range, which is pretty great. That's another big milestone. I don't think I'll be able to get my hands on any Black Dragon Hide items, though. I do know that brutal Black Dragons drop some Black Dragon Hide in the catacombs, but one of my Slayer rules is that I only leave to go to a Slayer cave if I'm on a Slayer task, and Vanica does not assign Black Dragons, therefore I will not be killing brutal Black Dragons. So once I got 70 range, I decided that it was time to focus on training magic, because I do need 69 magic in order to unlock the current catacombs, so I can continue with my Slayer grind. Magic is very difficult for me because getting my hands on runes is pretty difficult. I do have access to the magic shop though in the Czar City now, but the runes are kind of expensive with Tokkul, and it takes me a long time to get any decent amount of Tokkul, and the runes don't go very far. So I decided to spend all the Tokkul that I had gotten from 70 range and buy some fire runes and some air runes. That way I could do some low alchemy and also use some crumble undead spells, because I had about 600 chaos runes in the bank from the Maze Random event since the start of my account. So after a bit of Hexus level multitasking, I managed to get 40 magic. I still have a long way to go on my magic grind, but it's a pretty good start considering I haven't trained any magic since I had to get the 33 magic quest requirement for the giant dwarf. So after this, I decided I needed to go do some Crumble Undead action. And in order to do that, I needed to get my hands on an Earth Staff, so I headed to Earth Warriors and picked up an Earth Staff. My next challenge was getting my hands on some air runes. I spent the majority of my Tokkul on fire runes, and I spent what I had left over on air runes, but I still needed about 1,000 more. So I decided to head to Chaos Druids for a while. Chaos Druids actually drop 36 air runes at a time, so it's not the greatest way to obtain them, but I figured I might as well head there because they drop tons of herbs, and I need to get on my herb lore training as well, because I need at least level 37 to make myself some prayer potions before I take on the KALPHITE Queen. I also got myself 40 prayer down here, which is enough for protect from range, of course, which I need in order to face Obor in the not too distant future. And I also decided to get a quick smithing level up to level 77, that way I could boost +1 to make an Addy Square Shield. The Addy Square Shield is going to be my best in slot shield for a while until I manage to get my hands on the Obsidian Shield, and who knows, with my RNG at that place right now, it's kind of a crapshoot, so it could be tomorrow or it could be 2 weeks from now, I'm not really sure. So I wanted to go ahead and get that quick level because I was only a few thousand experience away. So I went ahead and boosted that level to get my hands on the Addy Square Shield. So after several days, I finally managed to get my hands on all the air runes that I needed, so I headed to the bank and decided to do a bit of herb lore training. I only needed to make a couple restore potions in order to get to level 25, then I cleaned the lot of my grimy Renars that I had in the bank, and made a bunch of energy potions to get me to level 30. From there, I decided to turn on the stream again and do some Crumble Undead action in the Karamja volcano. I guess this is a good time to plug my Twitch stream. I've done almost half a dozen streams now, and they've all gone pretty well. I'm actually well on my way to achieving the Twitch affiliate position, which, if you don't know, is a program that Twitch rolled out somewhat recently, within the last month, to basically assist the middle class, quote-unquote, of Twitch. So basically, it's an incentive program to keep the little guys like me motivated to keep trying to grow the channel, and it also gives the most dedicated viewers to smaller streamers. It gives them the opportunity to support their favorite little guy streamers if they so choose. And they still get an emote. It might be 2 emotes, I'm not quite sure. But anyway, I'm well on my way there. And so it's a lot of fun. I encourage you guys to check it out. And my channel is twitch.tv/caveman only. I guess there's a first time for everything, but this clip that you see here in the background is the first time that I've ever been trolled on my account ever, regardless of me being live or not. This guy was tuning into the stream and thought he'd be really clever and run out from the cave and up the rope to the surface really quickly without me noticing, and he managed to drop an obby sword. My heart skipped a beat a little bit, I think, but he definitely trolled me, so I wanted to give him a shout out. So shout out to Bo Selecta. Even though going to the gym after RuneScape comes to mobile, oh guys, look what just happened. Look at that shit. Those are some throwing rings on stream. Would you look at that? I did it, guys. Not exactly the drop that I wanted, but you know, it's something, I guess. I have 50 throwing rings in total. I can finally sleep tonight. Finally, I managed to get a somewhat decent drop on stream. It wasn't exactly the drop that I was hoping for, especially because I've already gotten one throwing ring drop before. So it's my first duplicate drop. But it was nice to get that on stream for once. I got my first genuine PogChamps in my stream, which was a nice moment for me. But yeah, so I don't have a really solid conclusion to the end of the stream, or to the end of the video like I usually do. But I kind of ran out of time for this week, and I wanted to get an update out to you guys since it's been about 2 weeks now. And I want to stick to a predictable update schedule. That way you guys know when the updates are coming, and hopefully that means they'll get a little bit more attention on social media platforms. Before I go, though, I do have one announcement. I don't think many of you are anticipating this because I haven't really talked about it yet, but I have spoken with one of your other very favorite area-only Ironmen, and I've got a small announcement for you guys. Dun dun dun! Fight Pits community event featuring Karamja only, probably. Yeah, so this is the next community event that I've decided on, and I am hoping, I have a strong hope that Karamja only is going to show up. I've been in contact with him recently, and he is a busy guy. He's been working quite a bit lately, but he said that he would try his best to show up to the event on Saturday. So I hope to see him there. If not, you can have your second favorite area-only Ironman there to host the event, aka me. So that's going to be happening this Saturday, 2 days from now, from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's late evening for those of you in the UK. That's the middle of the night for you guys in Australia. Sorry. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. If you want, feel free to bring your frog leather and your obsidian gear. That way we can duke it out in true caveman fashion. Again, that's happening 2 days from now, from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in World 350 at the Czar Fight Pits. And I'm really looking forward to my second ever community event with you guys. And hopefully Karamja only, aka Ben, too. So that's all I've got for you guys this week. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next time.